How many teams in the entire NFL would want Brock Purdy to start for them now? And it was kind of a fun exercise, Dan.
I thought so. And I want to say, one, we really respect him and we think he's a
Mm-hmm.
good quarterback. And people might say, well, it's unfair. He's only played 8 games to compare him to veterans. Well, the Niners want to start him. They've said it. They want to start him. So they've put him in the mix. So I think, Iggy, would you keep score?
Absolutely. We'll go team for team and we'll be as generous as we can. So clearly we'll start in the NFC West. The Niners want him to start for them. That's one.
That's one team.
That's one.
Okay.
They're eager for him to start.
They're jumping out of their skin for him to start.
Jumping out of their skin. All right, let's keep going. The Seahawks, would they rather have Geno Smith or Brock Purdy start for them?
Okay. I'm not wild about Geno Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wild about their offense. Having said that, I think Pete Carroll would rather have Geno Smith than Brock Purdy. And the reason is, first of all, he didn't get hurt.
Correct.
He didn't get hurt. He's more mobile.
Yes.
And he has a better long range arm.
He's
so
bigger.
I think, and he's a big guy,
yeah.
and he can run and not get hurt.
And he's more experienced. He's a veteran.
Yeah. So Iggy, I would say they're close.
Mm-hmm.
I personally actually like Brock Purdy better, but looking at it from Seattle point of view, I think they would want Geno Smith. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they just gave Geno Smith an extension that gives him about $30 million a year, and I'm not sure that any team in the NFL, including the Niners, would be ready to give Brock Purdy that type of an extension if he were eligible for one after 7 starts and a major injury. So he does have promise, but I don't think he's at that stage in his career where he's accomplished enough that Geno has, where he could get that right now, even if he was eligible. So I'd have to go with Geno in Seattle.
Okay. So he's still at 1. Let's go over to the Rams. Who would the Rams, you say, rather have as their starter, Stafford or Brock Purdy?
Probably Stafford, considering they won a Super Bowl with him. And that wasn't that long ago. Yeah. So I'm thinking Stafford. I mean, he's bigger. He has a better arm. He's not as mobile, but he won a Super Bowl with them. And he has an elbow issue as well. But I'd go Stafford.
And also, they made a big trade for Stafford. I mean, they went out and got him, and it paid off for that one season. So I'd have to say, I don't think they would go for Brock Purdy over Stafford.
No. Okay, let's stay in the NFC.
And if you people disagree, understand this is hypothetical. We're doing the best we can. You can disagree, but don't be angry at us. Iggy, we still have Arizona.
Jedi says Geno is Cinderella, and it's 6 past midnight. Is Geno Cinderella or is Brock?
That's interesting.
Did Brock turn into a pumpkin in Philly? I don't know. I guess we'll find out next year. Okay, what about Arizona?
Now, that's a tough one. Again, I kind of like Brock more than I like Kyler Murray.
For a lot of reasons.
I don't even know if he does the homework.
Like, how much does he love football?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having said that, Iggy, I could, after the money they gave him, I could not see them saying, Kyler, get a clipboard. We're going to bring in Brock Purdy. What do you think, Iggy?
No, I mean, Kyler is such a more gifted athlete than Brock. They're both small, but Kyler Murray was the number 1 pick in football and a top 10 pick in baseball. He's just on a whole different stratosphere from Brock Purdy. And I think if you put Kyler on this team, he could do what Brock does plus. That's another way to look at this exercise, but we're not looking at it that way. I think Arizona, they're too committed to Kyler. They wouldn't move off of him for Brock.
And the way I look at Kyler, he's like a young Russell Wilson.
Yes.
I mean, Russell Wilson is no longer Russell Wilson.
No.
But he's like a young. Now, he may squander his talent, but I couldn't see Arizona giving up on him for Brock Purdy. So in the NFC West. He's 1-3.
Okay, let's go to the NFC North. Minnesota Vikings. They got Kirk Cousins.
No way. No way. No way.
Detroit Lions. They have Jared Goff.
Now that's interesting. Iggy, did you say he's a Pro Bowler?
Let me look that up. Jared Goff. Let me get you his stats from last year. Jared Goff. He does play behind a very good offensive line there in Detroit. His numbers last year. He went to the Pro Bowl. He threw for 4,400 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 7 picks. His quarterback rating was 99. And he played all 17 games. They have a good all-line, though.
Wow. Okay.
They're paying him big money, too.
They are?
Yeah. I'll tell you how much they're paying him. They're paying him $30 million a year.
Come on.
$30 million a
Really?
year. And he's going to Pro Bowls. Yeah. I think they're sticking with Goff.
Yeah, and off the top of my head, I didn't like Goff in L.A. I mean, although he went to a Super Bowl, I didn't like him in L.A. Iggy, he's really suffered and endured in Detroit and shown incredible courage and perseverance.
Correct.
I
That's a big
admire
deal.
that.
So is Geno.
I would have to say both of them. Both of them were down and out. Down and out.
Out. And, I think a lot of quarterbacks, most quarterbacks have to go through that eventually. And to like pull yourself out of the coffin. How many guys do that?
Interesting. So you're saying there's no way Detroit is going for Brock Purdy when they have Jared Goff.
Here's the thing with Goff. We've seen him. If he has space to throw, he's deadly. He'll kill you. If you can get pressure on him, he folds. He's a little soft. Sorry. But Detroit can protect him. They have a great offensive line. The Niners don't. So maybe the Niners would rather have Brock than Goff. Because Brock can run around. Brock than Goff, because Brock can run around and protect himself where Goff really can't.
I'm with you. So he would function better on the Niners, Brock Purdy. But if you put him in Detroit, Goff functions better.
Yeah, and what's interesting is if you put Brock on Detroit, I think Detroit would rather have Goff because he has a bigger arm. But if you could actually protect Brock, he might be even better too. That's the thing about an offensive line, Dad. It helps.
Yeah, we need to get a memo over to the Niners.
I think that I don't have the numbers in front of me, but when Brock Purdy was not under pressure last year, I think his quarterback rating was like 135. It helps. Anyway, keep him going. Chicago, they have Justin Fields.
I got to tell you, there's no way I could choose Justin Fields, over Brock Purdy. I'm saying Brock Purdy.
It's fair. It's just that they drafted Fields in the first round, and he's young in his career, but the Niners have given up on Trey Lance after 4 starts, so why couldn't... Yeah.
Yeah. I have to say, if Chicago has any brains, they want Brock Purdy.
Yeah. That being said, though, I mean, they made an investment like the Niners, and they're trying their best to find out what the investment is. So they've given this kid, this young man, a bunch of offensive weapons this year, and they're going to give him one more chance to show that he can do something. If not, he's probably out next year. This is a make or break year for him. And I just think like it is worth. If you make a big investment in a quarterback, it's probably worth it to see it through at some point, as opposed to pivoting to something else midway.
Okay. Well, in other words, what they're doing with Fields is not what the Niners are doing with Trey Lance.
They're actually like having a plan and sticking to it.
Right. I understand.
Right.
So let's say we diverge there. You still have Brock at one team. I'm giving him Chicago. So I have 2. Okay.
Green Bay. They lost Rodgers. They've had Jordan Love on the bench for 3 years. They drafted him in the first round. And this is his year to show something. What do you think they would do?
Jordan Love.
They're invested. And again, if you have a plan, you usually stick to it until it's proven that it won't work unless you're the Niners and you just pivot quickly back and forth. Oscillate. Okay, so NFC South. Atlanta Falcons. Desmond Ridder. Drafted last year.
Brock Purdy.
Okay, that's 2. We agree on that.
Well,
2 that we both agree on. 2 that we both agree on. 3 that you think.
Yeah.
Okay. New Orleans, Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. They would never give up on, in spite of what people say, I think Derek Carr is a very good quarterback. I always thought he was better than Jimmy. So New Orleans, they have Derek Carr, and I'm sure they're happy about it.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing that the Raiders got rid of Derek Carr and placed him with Jimmy? Like, they think they got better? What?
I know.
Anyway, Carolina, they just spent the first pick in the draft on a quarterback, Bryce Young.
Well, they're not going to give up on him. Yeah.
Yeah, they're invested. Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield.
Oh, I can't see him. He's a minor leaguer. So Brock Purdy, what about you?
So, I'm with you on that. So that's 3 for me, 4 for you.
Yeah.
NFC East, Dak Prescott, Dallas.
Dak
give him like $40 million a year. Yeah.
Dak
New York Giants, Daniel Jones. They just gave him a huge extension for like $35 million a year.
Okay. Then him. Yeah.
Philly, Jalen Hurts.
He's terrific. He's
Yeah.
terrific. He's
Washington.
He's what they used to want Trey Lance to be.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
He's really, really good. One of the best in the NFC, maybe the best. Washington, Sam Howell. You don't even know who that is.
No, I have no idea.
So I'm going Brock there. Brock. So that's 4 for me, 5 for you. 4.
Okay.
4 in the NFC. That's not bad. That's a quarter. No, yes, that's a quarter of the teams in the NFC he could start for.
And might want him to start for.
And might want him to start. Yeah, not just could start for. Might want him to start right now.
Right.
It's pretty nice. All right, let's go AFC. Let's go start in the East. Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. No.
Let's move on.
New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers.
Move on.
Miami Dolphins, Tua.
I don't like Tua.
You think they'd rather have Purdy?
I'm going with Purdy. But you don't have to agree with me.
You're saying Purr's the word?
Purr's the word.
Purr's the word? Okay, I'll go with Miami in that one. Patriots, Mac Jones.
I'm going with Brock Purdy.
Easy.
So hold
I don't
on.
like Mac Jones at all. Okay,
Hold on. You got 6 and I got 7, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
AFC North. Ravens. Lamar.
No, Lamar is the man.
MVP. Yeah. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow.
Burrow.
Cleveland, Deshaun Watson.
Watson. With all his baggage.
Pittsburgh Steelers, Kenny Pickett, first round pick last year.
Iggy, I honestly don't have an opinion on him.
I think him and Purdy are very similar. So I don't know if Pittsburgh would just pivot to another player like Pickett. They're very similar. I think you could flip a coin.
Okay.
You could flip a coin.
Let's say Pickett.
Let's say Pickett. All right. AFC South. Houston Texans, they just spent the second pick in the draft on C.J. Stroud, a quarterback from Ohio State.
Okay, Stroud.
Indianapolis Colts, they just spent the 4th pick in the draft on a quarterback from Florida named Anthony Richardson.
So, in other words, you feel they're invested on him, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and they got the offensive coordinator from the Eagles who likes to run his quarterback, and this guy's a big athlete. I don't think he would want a pocket quarterback. All right, Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, first pick in the draft 2 years ago.
I don't really like him. Iggy, I've seen you like him.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to be persuaded by you on this. He's really good.
Yes, he's been on Jacksonville. Jacksonville, as I used to say. Does everyone know? I had a lisp until I still do talk out of the side of my mouth sometimes, but I did have a lisp until I lost my baby teeth. Oh yeah, it was. You guys made fun of me all the time. It's okay. I think my self-esteem's recovered.
I hope.
Okay. Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill.
I like Tannehill.
Yeah, I think they'd go Tannehill too.
I think so.
All right, AFC West. Russell Wilson, Denver.
That's interesting.
It is.
He stinks.
He stinks.
He's
so past his prime.
He stinks.
Can't move anymore.
They're so invested in him.
But if they could get rid of him, they would. If they could trade him for a cheeseburger just to get rid of that,
okay, then I'm going to say Brock Purdy. If they could get Brock Purdy, that guy's a load. So
he has the worst contract in football.
I got 8 and you got 7.
Yeah, you got the worst contract in football. All right, the Chargers, Justin Herbert.
He's great.
Okay, how about this one? The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes.
I think they want to stick with Mahomes.
They'd have to think about it though.
They'd have to think about it, yeah.
Okay, last team, the Raiders.
Who's their quarterback? Jimmy?
He hasn't even passed a physical yet.
Hasn't even passed a physical yet. I'm saying if they could get Brock Purdy.
But Brock couldn't pass one either.
Oh, that's interesting. That's true. He couldn't
It's a tough one. What would they do? Would you take Jimmy or Jimmy Jr.? Jimmy or Diet Jimmy? You might want to go Diet Jimmy. It's cheaper, fewer calories. You know?
I'd go for Diet Jimmy.
I would go for Diet Jimmy. Who needs a full Jimmy? That's just too much.
If we've had enough of that.
I had enough.
So Iggy.
Yeah.
Did we do the whole league?
We did the whole league. I have 8 teams that would actually
And
want Brock Purdy to start for him.
I have 9. And
9.
it is 30 teams, right?
32.
32. You see,
So that means he's roughly the 23rd or 24th best quarterback in the league, roughly. Right now.
a most desirable starter.
Most desirable. I think that's fair. Just outside the top 20 after 8 starts.
Yeah.
A couple wins in the playoffs. Yeah.
I think that's fair. It doesn't put him down, and it doesn't over-evaluate him the way a fan might want to.
Yeah, I don't see how you could put a guy in the top 20 off 8 starts, no matter what those starts were. That's a lot. But top 25, it seems fair, especially when you got guys like Mac Jones and Desmond Ridder and Sam Howell and Baker Mayfield. It's like, yeah, I'll take Brock over all those guys.
Yeah. So, Brock, if you see this, which you won't, I know, but if you see this, we're not putting it down. We're giving an honest evaluation after a limited number of starts and an injury, and it means you have a vast territory in front of you that you can really take over.
Right. No, we're putting down Jimmy Garoppolo. Sorry.
Yeah, we're putting down Jimmy, but we're not putting down Brock.
Not you.
No. Not you. And what I'm saying is you can show that you can get into the top 15, the top 10, the top 5. It's all there for you to take.